讲到科技，你会想到？
我会想到涂装那些什么的，就是你知道我就是喜欢外形啊，烤漆。
对，我觉得这应该也是大部分车友对于科技车的印象。
对。
如果说 Pasoni 是带我认识客制车的开始，那 FESTKA 就是让我踏入客制单车的起点。在去年年底，我跟老板和朋友们飞了一趟马来西亚，去拜访我们的好朋友 Max 和 Cyclist Wardrobe。因缘际会下，我们认识了 FESTKA 的创办人 ，A.K.A 自由的单车狂人 Michael。经过了几天的骑车吃咖椰吐司，骑车再吃咖椰吐司，神奇的事情就发生了。没想到不止我们，就连像老板这样拥有过1台 Pina、2台 Conago、2台 Pasoni 的资深玩家，也被 FESTKA 这个从材质到车架几何规划，再到艺术涂装都样样专精的定制车品牌给深深吸引，甚至还萌生了开车店的想法。那像 FESTKA 这样的定制车，到底跟市售单车有什么不同呢？他们又是何德何能，让 B&W、Nespresso 等国际大牌找上门与他们联名？这支影片，我们要来寻找我们的单车店起点，也就是玩车的顶，就是超客制。
好，所以我们现在要去桃园机场接机的路上。那我们这次真的是非常非常幸运，因为你知道现在是12月中，就是圣诞节前夕，是外国人正要放假的日子。但是呢，我们就很幸运的邀请到 Michael 跟马来西亚的 Max 一起来台湾。你也认识 Michael 嘛？
对，
就透过我们几次的视讯，跟上次开幕
就是跟他接触。对，连接机都超定制，我告诉你，
夸张，就是一个浪子。浪单车浪子，
对单车这么有热忱的人，我觉得很棒，我就很想介绍他给大家认识。
对，让你喜欢一个牌子，喜欢一辆车，它背后的原因往往是你对于这个东西的了解跟信任，还有你知道它是适合你的，你知道它就是你想要的。
对，然后还有它上面有你自己的故事。
对，
其实我认为客制车就像一道完美的和牛料理，有3个步骤。首先，你要先知道厨师是谁，他的背景经历跟为何值得我们选择他来帮我们料理我们的车架。
谈到料理的灵魂呢，肯定就是厨师，而掌管 FESTKA 的大厨就是 Michael Moureček。为了更理解 FESTKA 的料理思维，我们在约集后的早晨，从 Michael 的过去开始挖掘。那 Michael 说，他来自捷克的山上，从1988年，他那一年刚好生病在床上，那他打开电视的时候，竟然看到首尔奥运的自行车场地赛，画面里选手们都穿着鲜艳的紧身衣，然后骑着奇怪造型的场地车。那这个场景对于一个乡下小孩，他整个就是一个太震撼了。那这场比赛呢，就在他心中悄悄埋下了一个我也想当选手的种子。
I was 15 and I was in the pub with my roommate and we discussed what everyone's dream job. Said that if I can choose pro cyclist.
Pro cyclist.
Yes, and everyone started smiling to me and they say, hey man, we're studying in the garden in Leiska. So, and we have a serious discussion. So I said, okay, but you asked me what is my dream job.
Yes.
So this is my dream job. And again, they hurt my feelings. So when I during the summer holidays, I say, I have to give them the proof that I can be a racer. And I attend to some local smaller race. And I was a second, I guess, or maybe I won, I don't know. But I was on the podium. So and I just did that to show the guys, hey, look at how I can race the bike.
为了决定证明自己不是开玩笑，他每天就跑到城里面去找一个退休选手。那他说他这辈子从来都没有求过别人，但是他就是每天都去找他，拜托他，请他来教他怎么样成为一个自行车选手。那就算他可以去比赛，但是他当时比赛的装备也就是阳春，然后他鞋子还是用绳子绑在脚踏车上面的。那最后在1988年，也就是他看过首尔奥运的10年之后呢，他站上了捷克场地赛的冠军台，他成为了国家冠军，也完美实现了他的 dream job。
I was always dreaming to have the bike. The parents doesn't have the money to buy me one, and when they have the money, they bought it to my brother because I was a bad guy, so I didn't deserve it the bike.
那 Michael 就说，其实我喜欢很多品牌，但是如果真的要我花钱买的话，那我只想要做 custom bike。所以一开始是从一个生日礼物开始研究，他才发现说，这个市场上真的没有人可以满足他的需求。更特别的是，因为生产车架的老板还苦心的劝告他，他说：“你想要的东西真的没有人需要，你真的不要再做了，我这是为你好。”然后他又说了 ，"It hurts my feeling." Like what motivated you to start this?
This is a boring story. So,
Boring, very boring.
Yeah. I start my cycling life as a pro. Yeah, so I have no choice, so there was nothing to complain. Thanks my career, I have a chance to try so many materials, so many bikes. All the well-known brand supports me in the past. I learn is that even the big brands do the mistakes, and not all the products are super good. And especially if you ride on the track, you are big sensitivity. You really know what makes you faster and what not. So I am not influenced by the brand, how brand is strong, how big the marketing is doing about that, how other good racers, you can see it on the podium on the Tour de France riding on that product. So because I know that it doesn't mean anything, so it doesn't mean that this product is super good. So I have some vision how to make the bike, and I was surprised that there is almost no one who can satisfy me back in the days.
今天呢是我们那个 Cycling FABRO 梦想单车制造第一场蛮大的活动。好，那这有没有很眼熟？在机场看到的这个，那我们今天在这边呢，就是有办了一场，就是比较轻松啊，你知道可以边喝啤酒边吃捷克美食的分享会。
I didn't fix it yet, so no, I didn't, because then you ask me what bike I have, and I have no answer for that. So 15 years ago, my family called me that they want to give me the bike, it mean that I should go somewhere to buy something and send them the bill. I don't know why I have to make the things too complicated. If I will listen my mother and I will go somewhere as always and buy the bike, my life will be so different. So now I have a bike, so maybe I should send the bill to my family for all of this. I think that each rider, we are not talking about the racers, each rider should looking on two things, the comfortness and the power transfer. This is what you want from your bike. Your spin to be as much efficient as can be. So the transfer from the pedal into the frame, which push you forward, must be on the perfect level, and this is what we cares a lot. And then you want to enjoy the pleasant ride, so you have to feel the comfort. And how you can make the comfort, that it's about the tubes, so all this is in that frame, and it's also the position, how your weight was distributed, how your position on the bike it's set up. Our way how we produce the bikes and the mass production is that we are using the filament welding tubes, so and we use robots to make them. What quality of the carbon you can use, because for easily say for the bike industry it's suitable around the 25 different carbons. We have significantly more options to choose what we want, and 99.99999% of the bike it's made like that. So somehow we can say that they are the same. In our way, the robots make tubes. They are very precise, never do mistakes, all the time in the same move. They don't have the family issues, so they are not happy, they are not sad. So they are always making the same tube. So easily say everywhere where the robots are more precise and better than the human hands, we use the human hands. And also with that we can protect quite a lot the health of our employees. We don't change the shape of our tube so often, not because we don't know how to do it or we don't have the idea how to do it. The key is that we are continuously recalculate and improve our tubes. And if we change the shape of the tube, we easily say that we have to start from the scratch. Behind our tubes, it's more than 30 years continuously developed, and this is unusual, I think, in the bike industry, which going quite fast, and the brand usually doesn't take so much attention of it. Every year we do some upgrade of our tubes. The good thing is, I can give you the example, like first generation, which was made like, I don't know, 10-12 years ago, and today model, they looks almost the same. And this is a magic for the customer. They have a 10 years old bike, but it still looks like a new one. Inside was a change, but I don't think that it was so dramatic change that you need to buy a new bike. Okay? So what we are doing here is that we do the bike so that people can keep it for a long time.
戴了之后，我觉得，让我惊讶，对它避震效果真的。
因为在你骑之前，我就跟你强调那一点，
对，
它的那个水震是真的。
不好意思，我是故意去瞪它，然后它让我在那个湿地过弯的时候，我放心，因为我会怕不动，但是它不会。
然后出去有速度在骑的时候，它也是很平稳，都不会有跳啊，或者就是很舒服啊。而且它有个弹性，因为我是以前骑钢管车、钛车一样的那种弹性，你抓到它的调性，就是你回转每一下下去，它就会给你推一下的感觉。
很多时候我们想到避震的时候，就是会想到那台车会比较发力可能不会这么好，但是对它的发力的感觉是怎么样的？
稳。
然后那个、
我不会怕侧风，他们说有侧风，我说我不知道有侧风这种感觉吗？
因为很多时候我们讲一台会很舒服的车或者避震很好的车，通常人家都会想到它发力可能不好。对，这就是它。我们想要带出来的，就是因为今天车可以是很舒服，可是你不需要牺牲掉那个发力或者是那个韧度这个就是我们每次讲的耐克所谓讲的东西。
因为我本来想说，这么轻的车，它可能下坡不一定会那么稳。我那时候下坡也是，就是还加速，达到最重加速，应该对码表应该也是70。
其实重点就是舒适跟性能，其实在脚踏车上很难做到。
原本是不能兼顾的，或者在它身上发生，
是没有办法。
只是有一个东西是真的，我们可以讲它的天花龙凤，你的感觉才是最真。
真的，我一骑起来感觉哇，哇，就是哇。
We are like a chef in the kitchen.
Yes.
So we have all the ingredients behind us, and we are carefully ask you what you want. I think that we build the company which has unlimited options to build the custom bike.
Yes.
And if you want, we can choose for you different type of the carbon.
Yes.
If you need, we can make the own tube just for you. We can make a full custom geometry. We can make incredible paint on it. We can also fine-tune the components for you. So basically this is unlimited option. If I will show you all these options, you will be lost in that.
Definitely.
And I think that the people should focus when they design the custom bike on how they ride, how this typical ride look like, and why you want to build the custom bike. So for someone, the motivation could be significantly different. He come and he sit as you are sitting with me here, and he asked me for the custom bike. I asked him for many questions, so what groups that he likes. He said, I don't care, I don't know, you choose. He said, you don't have any limits for that. And I asked him, okay, so give me the price limit, for example. He said, you have no limit. I say, well, how is that? He say, I'm old enough. I already try all the cars, slept in all hotels, try all the wine, what I want, and everything become to be usual to me or boring. Only thing what makes me happy, it's a feeling when I am, which create my body after ride. And after ride, all the hormones goes into your blood, and this is I can have it every day. And the bike is a tool to this happiness. And if you look at on this from this perspective, so, and I think that this is the right perspective, you should guide me and tell me what makes you happy, and I will design it that tool for you to allows you to be happy after every ride. And yes, and then I also realized that satisfies me more to do the bike for someone else than for myself.
它没有在色卡上面，所以非常不好弄。它要上一层再等一下，上一层再等一下。You know me, and probably you find the artist, but how do you know I will like it or not, or?
We make a difference between the customer who wants to have the artwork on the bike. Then we will show you the artists which cooperate with us, how we select them, which is very interesting procedure to me. Or you have a specific wish of some design, and then we are working as the graphic designers. Yeah, but sometimes our graphic designer is doing that. Sometimes we ask even the artist, but they don't work for us as an artist, but as a designer. Or big difference. Yeah, because as a designer, we should do what you ask us for. Artists, in my opinion, should be independent.
Yes, they do whatever
they want, and we never limit them.
Yes.
It's kind of like a surprise. So if you want to be surprised, and if you like the artist's work, go in that direction. Okay. If you don't like surprises, and you know that you want your Cobra attack on your frame, it will be better to stay with a graphic designer. It's easy. The next one. This is like the policy of our company. So what makes our life super difficult and super hard? We have to be focused on each bike as it's our last bike or whatever. So we have to put all the effort to build your bike, because this is your expectation. For me, every bike what we produce, it's a piece of art, and we are putting all our skills and the effort. Doesn't matter if it looks simple or if it's complicated design, etc. It deserves 100% of our focus of every employee in our factory. So I like it the most one. Then we start to focus on the another one, and so this is our daily life. So every bike what we did, for me it's the past, and I'm always excited about the new projects. You are buying them, or in my opinion, if you buy the piece of art and you put it on the wall, you want to have some communication between the paint and that. And this is what the customers do. Yeah, the painters is doing those paint. And they sell them. They doing it for you, for the buyers, and that piece of the art become to be part of their life. Yeah, and it's so we are like those painters. So I do the bike for you, but for you it's a piece of art. Like for me somehow yes, but it's your piece of art. I am here just to do what you want. Yeah, and I am always like very hard on our team. They never can project their own needs and wishes into the customer bike. Yeah? We are here to do what you want and listen to you. So if anyone will push a customer and try to convince him to buy different wheels which doesn't fit, but just this employee love them. It's no way. So we have the very strict rules. So we are doing the bike for you. Actually, 10 years after, I became to be a racer, and there was I was a track rider. I know how aerodynamic is important. If you want to break the record. Am I planning to break any record today or tomorrow? No. I just want to enjoy the pleasant ride. Yeah? So sometimes I can really see the people riding the super aerodynamic bike, which promise them how they will be fast, but they have a absolutely not aerodynamic position on it. So, and I can guarantee you the body create more resistance than the advantage of the bike compared to the others. Okay, tomorrow we will have the fitting session. So you can tell me, please can you adjust my position on the bike to be as dynamic as I can be? Okay. And maybe I can help you with a custom bike with the not aerodynamic shape to be more aerodynamic than on some super aerodynamic bike where I have no options to adjust your position. So where is the point?
所以我们刚刚听完 Michael 介绍了很多，不管是从他的故事到怎么造车架，那其实现在有个最重要的东西就是我们要做 fitting， 要做一台车。其实还蛮期待明天的这个 fitting 的体验，不知道可不可以让我就是对 FESTKA 或者是对 Michael 改观。So tomorrow you will do my fitting.
But you don't believe in it.
Any secret translate here? So like I'm looking forward tomorrow.
Okay, so sleep well.
Nice.